Okay, thanks for stopping by today. We're going to go over Star Trek Online Summer Event. Every year, I usually cover all the events, regardless of the situation. This year, I did not know that the event was starting early. For most people, usually the event always starts on July 1st, July 2nd, July 3rd, always around the 4th of July, and that's as I expected it this year. But this year was a little bit different, so we're going to cover everything with the actual summer event that should be going on in 2026, and also the free giveaway that you guys are probably going to miss if you caught my video. But if you logged in, I think you've only got like a day left or something to claim it. So with the summer event, every year, sometimes they give away free stuff, just like all of Star Trek's events. And so this one's no different. If you go to the Zen store, you'll see it, and we'll cover that in just a second. We're also going to tell you about why. So what's going on here? Why did the summer event, for the first time in 16 years, did this event start early? A lot of people are like, well, what's going on here? Well, it's actually a little bit hard to find, but there was a thread from one of the game designers, which I'm not going to post other people's threads or information, but from what was spoken and said on podcasts and everything, is that they were bringing it early because they wanted everybody to be able to take their vacations in July and not have to worry about them trying to grind this out to get the Star Trek ship that everybody goes for in the summer event. So that was like their words used, that, They wanted you to be able to go on vacation in July and not have a problem with getting the ship. But that's actually not the reason, in my words, because there was another post and another thing that kind of led to the facts. Either the company or some of the game designers, they're actually going on a 2-week vacation to celebrate some sort of outing thing where, from what I gather, I don't know where, when, or why. I'm sure if somebody dug deep enough, they'll find out more. But basically, they're all going on vacation for the 4th of July, and they won't be back until, 2 or 3 weeks after the 4th of July. So basically, their words saying, for people going on vacation in July, well, you can go on vacation anytime you want, who knows, right? So when did this ever matter before? It has always been around July 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. If you go look it up, you'll see I'm not lying. This is the truth. So in this situation, they have this ship here, and we're going to cover everything on the situation. So I just thought I would drop that secret right away. That way you guys know. That's what was said, that, it's basically so people can enjoy their vacation without trying to grind for something. But the reality here is that it actually cost quite a bit of dilithium to get this ship. So as you can see, it's a really weird looking kind of ship. And, right here, it's just, it is what it is, right? But yeah, that's the ship. It looks like a seed or something you would find outside a pod, that an insect lays, a cocoon possibly. This was from, Next Generation, if I'm correct? So anyways, the ship has 4 forward weapons and 4 aft weapons, which I'm sure if you level it up or max it out, it could have some more stuff. And device slots would obviously turn into 4. I don't understand why this thing, it has some sort of weird base hull listing here at 65, level 65 or whatever. So, you know, it has a secondary deflector slot. I'm surprised that they didn't do something a little bit strange and add like a third deflector slot or some sort of something special to make this ship actual special. So as you can see, the slots that it has there, it's got universal slots. They tried to make the console slots more science. I'm surprised that this thing wouldn't be like all maybe science or something different. Like they haven't added anything different for unique ships that are bio ships or something, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but it is what it is. So this is obviously the description here that says Tin Man, as the Tin Man and all that was in the movie, or I mean the TV show. So yeah, you know, so it just kind of goes over everything, and you can scroll and find this quite easy. So if you go over here, if you're on the console, you click on description right here, and you hit X to see this right here, to see everything. And then you'll see right here that I was obviously late because first off, usually I get notified somehow, like it comes across my phone, it comes into my Google feed, or I get some sort of message in my email, because my email's linked to Star Trek Online, and I didn't see an email at all. I actually went and checked, and I was like, you know, you have multiple emails, so I checked, you know, the one that the account's linked to, and I didn't see anything that said anything. So I don't know if they just stopped telling people, but you know, good communication or something put out on Google would have helped. Now this came out like 2 weeks ago, like June 3rd or June 12th or somewhere around there anyways, whenever they started this. So usually they give you about a month, so I'd say June 3rd maybe. But it was 5,000 dilithium to buy this thing out, which is pretty high. 5 million dilithium, that's ridiculous, you know. Some of my characters have like a million or two. Some have just close to 1 million, but I don't bother to play enough to actually just have a smorgasbord. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have a ton of it, but I always find a way to spend it for something, you know. And you know, when you have a certain amount of dilithium after so long, it's just like, you know, if it didn't go to the fleet projects, which is where a lot of the dilithium went, you know, it goes to other stuff, you know. So anyways, you got the right there, it tells you how to buy it out. Now of course I'm only 2 of 20 today. So you know, I was gonna put this video out every year. I'll put out a video for each one of the events, and this year it was, you know, it just wasn't too great there. So you don't just get the ship, you also get this special pack, this Goom. That's the ship right there. And then let's go down here. It should show. I've seen more listed. I thought you get like dilithium or something special. I don't know what the heck. Is that really all they're giving you? Oh, right here. That's it. Okay, so after claiming, you get, and as you can see, the buyout says 8,000 dilithium ore. Oh, so you get some dilithium, some bonus rewards per account, whatever it is, whatever they're doing. And it is what it is, right? So anyways, the other important thing you guys need to know, which I would have reported on right away, this doesn't reach a lot of people because I am not sponsoring anything, you know, so a lot of people forget that YouTube is ran by money, and all they see is the views or the subscribers. They're looking at numbers, you know, and that's what businesses do, and that's what corporate entities do. We look at numbers, you know. Well, in this situation, you might be wondering, well, I wish I would have known, right? Well, if I was out there supporting everything, yeah, you know. But anyways, you come to the Zen store, and you go straight to the very bottom that says promotions, and right there is Ryza. Usually, if you are going to claim it, it would be somewhere at as soon as you go into this, it'll say like, not your bundle screen, but there's like a main screen somewhere that usually pops up that says, you know, claim something. So in this situation, when you click on this, you look down at the bottom right there, there's 13 hours left in yellow. And so I was going to report on this like 2 days ago when I started, and I was like, you know, I just got to let it be known, you know. They always give away free something, and I think they did this last year too. And all you get is 10 of the favors. So 10 favors is all you get. It's not really worth anything. It kind of makes your stuff uneven by having 10 favors, because it's always giving you 50 or 100. You know, 10 favors is kind of like whenever you go do missions around the map on Ryza. So this time, they give you 10 free favors, and it's just a promotional once per account, but they did something like this last year. I swear to God they did. Or I got something like that out of nowhere. Who knows, right? So this time it's actually official, and it's actually in the Zen store. So if you catch this video in time, you'll have to remember to stop by the Zen store. Always check everything when you're in there, you know, because it's important. You never know. So the free giveaway there we've kind of covered the ship. Now let's check out some of the new free goodies that they have. You know, you always wonder, are they going to come out with a new backpack, a jetpack, or whatever? Are they going to come out with other stuff that's important? Now, obviously, there's your outfitter person, and then right over here, you go to the Ryza vendor guy, and there's the new stuff. So I actually have enough to buy this. I keep everything in my joint account. So, the Rainbow Moopsby, or whatever it is. So it's a rainbow one. Now I've got a couple of these, and I opened one, and I have a certain color one. I don't know if it's white. I thought the white was kind of funny looking. So they have different colors of all of these, but I seem to have gotten mine from something else. I don't know. Maybe it was this. But I have a white one, and that was from like a year ago. So this is the rainbow one, and I guess this says new. I don't understand why. That's so strange. But they got teal, blue, pink, green, crimson, which is red. And then, you know, then they have these outfits, which I don't understand why everything says new. That is so weird. It's not new. Maybe this character doesn't own everything. I don't know. So, obviously, you know, usually I'm always looking to see if they have some new cosmetics. I think all of these were here before, you know. Sunglasses, octagon shield. So this stuff is just there. So what's really strange is they haven't separated this stuff, and I could have swore this stuff was separated at some point. So I'm always looking for like the new floater to see, did they come out with a floater that's even better than ever before? And I don't think they still haven't. They still haven't got anything. This is a Ryza floater. That's a Regency. I don't know. So I kind of compare. And yeah, so as you can see, it's the same kind of stuff, you know. So they haven't really did anything special there. Maybe there's something more down here. Usually, I used to like how you would get a different tribble whenever you made tribbles and stuff, and I don't know why they don't have a different summer event tribble every year. So you can take one of these foods and mix it with your tribble and see what kind of summer event tribble you get. I don't know why they don't do that, because that's kind of like a thing that they had going on for a while and they forgot about it. So, you know. But anyways, I always look to see if there's new food or anything. As you go down, this is extremely long for all these outfits. We're talking about years worth of content. And so, I don't see any new kit module this year or any of that, which you would expect there to be something more, you know? So it's always cool to have this stuff, like certain things. Some of this stuff is pretty cool. I have a ton of favors, but I'm not spending them on just any clitter clatter. Some of this stuff can be kind of cool, to use when you're battling, but, in the long run, I don't necessarily use it on any of my builds. I always thought every year they should come out with a new space variant for your ship, like these baseball ones and stuff that you put on your ship to make it look different. I think they should continue to do that one a year, every year for summer event. Do a cool summer event. Like they could have did this year, just as kind of like a little, give you an idea. What they could have did was give you the one that looks like the ship. So the ship that you get for the event, have that for 1,000 on here, and that would make you want to spend it to get it. After you already have all this stuff, it's really kind of useless after that, But, like you could put that armor on your shields, or it looks like a cool kind of, like the brown or maybe the glowing golden around it to have on your ship, as far as like a cool looking look, And that's what these are. These are vanity shields, where vanity means like, something looks wise, So they should do that, and they didn't. So I don't know. They need to, they wonder why nobody hardly plays anymore. It's just us loyal, faithful Star Trek people, and there's actually a larger group than what actually plays. They say there's only like 1,000 to 3,000 players at a time, and during events the number goes up. But to be honest, I hate to see the game die. I just really love the game. It's something that, I started playing since it came out. I bought it day one, So they have this Transcendent Tribble, and it's listed multiple times. I think it's glitched. So if you guys see this, you can see that there's a whole bunch of Transcendent Tribbles, which does not make any sense at all. So they need to patch that. And so this prismatic floater here, like I said, they have this classic thruster pack one that says 65, so it looks like an old classic one, which is kind of cool. I think that came out a while back, but I don't know. I'm just looking for like something new, and then they have all the base ones. So not really much. I'm always looking for like some new gear. They got this impulsive stuff. And I'm looking at the power boards, what do they got? And nothing. So, it used to be for the longest time, they would come out with all new, and they haven't, you wonder why a game is kind of dying. But 16 years in, well done, they're still going, at least they're still going. So there's the ship right there. And if you're doing the event, obviously, you just go over and talk to this person over here. And it's kind of a shame, because I really wish there was more to do. There is a ton of stuff you can do as far as events on the island, where you go search around the island for the statues, which you talk to the Klingon that's usually standing right over there or something. I think he's a Klingon. You can do the dance party thing. They used to amp this up that every year this was something to do. And, they would add something new all the time. Well, they stopped doing that, and that's kind of what happened. It's like, if you keep more content, adding more content, I know it's a game and it's a headache to have to design and make everything work without glitches and work your butt off. But, yeah, how did I not complete that? What's going on here? See, sometimes you get stuff like this. So,
enjoying the view of the harbor?
I used to love doing Star Trek, that they would have. They do have events that are very eventful, which are awesome still to this day. But to remember them, it's the diehard fans are never going to leave this game. Okay, so no matter what you do, even if even if you have someone in the fleet that tries to, like, say you're an owner of a fleet and you have someone trying to take over your fleet, even if they take over your fleet and kick you from the fleet, you'll still find yourself coming back to this game. But some people might actually be pissed off enough that they would never come back to the game. But there's a lot of fleet attempted takeovers these days, We kicked everybody from our fleet due to that reason. And I've noticed that. If you go look at fleets, you go in there and take a look at the fleets these days, on the computer and on the console, you're going to see that there's nobody hardly in any fleets. It'll be a maxed out fleet with only 5 people in it. Maxed out fleet with only 16 people in it. Real low numbers. Our fleet used to be maxed out at 500. And we kept it that way for the longest time. Unfortunately, we had too many attempts for a fleet takeover, and we finally threw in the towel and said, forget you guys, you know, and got rid of everybody. And so here we are. So when it comes to this game, a lot of people that spend a lot of money on this game, they usually spend quite a bit of money. I hate to be the one to break the news to you, but I guess I'll go ahead and do it. On the computer, I started playing this on the computer in 2010 when it came out. I was hoping it was going to come to console. Everybody wanted it to come to console. And that's exactly what everybody wanted, that it would be on all the stuff. It took them a long time to come to console. So unfortunately, that it is what it is, but they finally did. Now on the PC version, I probably spent, and I shouldn't even say this, but it could have been close to $9,000, give or take, and I'm not even sure anymore. I can tell you I have a stack of Perfect World cards. These cards were, you could go and buy them at a Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere. I have a stack from the floor up that goes past my knee. Okay? So think about that. Back then, I didn't want to link my credit card or my debit card to the game. So I just went out and bought, you know, say you'd get money and buy the cards. If the stack is that damn big, which at some point, I think I'm going to show you guys just how big it is. I kept all of the cards. I did. I may have lost a few. You know, they might have got thrown away. But the majority are still there. I would keep them and put them in a thing. So that was the computer version. I think one thing that made me spend a lot of money, I think one was like over $500 trying to get that, the very first big ship is a Tholian ship, I think. The very first Tholian ship. I think I spent $500 that day trying to get it out of lockboxes. And if someone had only told me the lockbox secret. See, we didn't know the secret, so I'm going to go ahead and release that today if you guys made it this far into the video. The secret is create another character so your drop rate and your chance rate is higher. So create another character, make that character a level 65 or max level, get it up there, and then open the boxes. Why I say to kind of get it up there? Well, don't go doing stuff in the game a whole lot. Just, you know, level it up, you know, level up. If you can. I know you can create it like a level 60 character or whatever. A new character has a high drop grab from all lockboxes. Okay? So, your original character has a really low drop rate after you've opened so many boxes. So, you'll notice that your drop rate is not good at all whenever you go to open anything with your main character. Start another character, open boxes with that one. Anyways, secrets revealed today. And one last thing I'd like to state. How much did I spend on the console? Well, I spent a fuck ton of money on the console. And it's probably more than the PC. So let's just not tell you the fucking number. Because I'm not going to say it. I hate to say it that way, but that's how it is. They act like this game is a one and done. It costed me a lot of money. So, if you made it this far into the video, it's at the end of the video, by the way. I just wanted to let you know it was a lot of money spent on the console version because we maxed out a fleet. So, you got to figure, I paid money to get that fleet up there if no one else was doing it. Also, it's me getting all the ships and all the stuff I ever wanted. And over time, now, the only reason why I still spend money now is to help support them. It's not like, see this event here? Most events I usually buy out halfway through or so that way I can spend some money on the game so they stay financed. So just keep that in mind, people. The company's been bought out many a times. It's been shifted through several hands. It was Cryptic Studios and Arc, and got shifted to Perfect World, which got shifted to this, shifted to that. Perfect World was like Chinese owned, and so they were the ones who made the decision to bring it to console. So, but this game here pretty much never gets touched the way that Neverwinter does. And so Neverwinter costed a lot of money. I used to use money that was earned on Xbox. So Xbox, you could also get $1,000 a year. You'll never see that again. That got nerfed along with a lot of things on Xbox. So I used to bring in $1,000 a year annually. $1,000 I could spend on anything I wanted on Xbox, and that was part of the rewards program. So you got to remember, I spent that on Neverwinter and Star Trek. So if that got spent every year from 2016 and in Neverwinter before this and during, imagine how much money they got out of that. So Xbox, you're always wondering, why is Xbox losing out on money and stuff? Well, because they gave it to the fans. They gave it to the fucking people. So keep that in mind. They were being generous with the money, and now look at where we are. You know, the companies are all struggling because the CEOs have too much money that they're extracting from. And the problem is you need to let the CEOs go and start fresh. Pay someone less. You don't need to pay someone that kind of money. So that's why people get cycled out. You know, when you're on the top, you get cycled out because you get too much damn money. They make a lot of money. So anyways, as you know, Star Trek event, check it out. Thanks for stopping by. Talk to you guys on the next one.